Hey fam, welcome back to Tari's lifestyle and vlog, and thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video we're going to be talking about some of the proposed changes to the UK driving test rules. Okay, and you all know that before you can start driving as in the UK as an immigrant, as whoever you are, whether you're a UK citizen, a British citizen or not, you have to go through some driving lessons, and then you have to go through your driving test and make sure you pass both the theory and the practical before you can start driving. Okay, but there's been an introduction of some changes which was announced on the 30th of March 2023. A date has not been set for this to go ahead yet, but this has been announced. So these are some of the proposed changes. It's been agreed that this is going to happen, but we just don't have a date yet. Okay, but that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before I go on, my name is Tari, and on this channel we talk about UK visas and immigration. We talk about life in the UK, and we talk about how to navigate and settle in the UK as an immigrant living in the UK. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. And to my returning subscribers, thank you all so much for always coming back to watch my videos. I appreciate every single one of you. And if this is your first time of coming, or if you've been here before and you haven't subscribed, then what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel so that I know that you're actually enjoying my videos. But thank you all so much for stopping by. So the DVSA, which is the Driver and Vehicle Standard Authority for the UK, has been carrying out consultation over the past months, and they've consulted over 20 people, which was concluded on the 30th of March. And what they were trying to do is to ensure that people were more and better prepared for their driving test, because a survey has found that a number of people go for their driving test a number of times before they actually pass. And so what they're trying to do is to make sure that people are actually better prepared for their test, so that when they go for this test, they would pass one hand. And one of the reasons why a lot of people are going for their tests when they are not actually prepared is because there's so much backlog in the booking system as a result of the pandemic. Because during the pandemic, all that time, there was no driving test. No one was allowed to do any driving test. I know that there was a time that healthcare workers, key workers, were allowed to book their driving test and go for it, but the rest of the population were not. So as a result of that, there's been so much backlog, and a lot of people, and because of this backlog, people want to book on time so that they can get their test done on time, and which means that they're ill prepared. They're actually not well prepared for their test. So what the DVSA wants to do is to ensure that people are better prepared for their test, which means they have enough time to prepare before they actually go for their test. Okay, so one of the changes that have been introduced, that have been talked about and proposed, is that people that have gone for their test, so students will have to wait. So if you've gone for your test and you've not passed, you have to wait for 28 days before you rebook your test. Because at the moment, as it stands, if you failed your test, you have 10 working days and then you can go for another test. But on this occasion, they're saying that people have to wait 28 days, and the hope is that in those 28 days, they would have prepared, they would have done more lessons to make them better prepared before they go for their next test. Okay, so that's the proposal. The second proposal is that students will have at least 10 working days for them to cancel or change their examination dates. Okay, so if you've booked your test maybe 1 month in advance or 2 months in advance, you have at least 10 working days to cancel or change it. After that 10 working days, you are not able to change it anymore. At the moment, we have 3 days, so you can change or cancel your test within 3 days. And if you've canceled that test, somebody can book within that same day and be able to go for their test in 3 days or even the next day. Okay, but now they've said it has to be 10 working days so that before people can cancel or change their test date, and it gives other people enough time to actually prepare for their test. And one of the reasons for this is also to ensure that tests are not being wasted by individuals. Okay, so it's really important. Okay, so the third change that has been proposed is that learner drivers will have more information about their instructors and the pass rate of their students, because sometimes you look for an instructor online, you get someone, you don't know if their students have been successful successful in passing their test or not. It's just jumping. They start teaching you. Some of them are quite good, because I know I had an instructor that was very good, but some of them are not as good. Okay, so if you're able to see the person's performance, like how they've done in terms of their student pass rate and all, then it will give you a bit more confidence to be able to go with them, to book them as your instructor, to teach you how to drive, and then hopefully you'll be able to pass your driving test. So the fourth change is that instructors will be driving instructors, not instructions. Driving instructors will be able to check people's eyesight, okay? Because one of the requirements for driving is that you have good eyesight. You should be able to read the next car plates from a distance, okay, from a certain distance. And normally when you go for your test, that's when the examiner will check your eye test. But in this case, they are saying that instructors will be able to check your eye test maybe before you start learning with them, maybe during your driving with them, or maybe before your test. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but they've said different ways will be used by instructors to check the students' eye sight, okay, to check test their eyesight. Okay, so the final one that has also been introduced is that students will now be given a digital pass certificate instead of a paper certificate, because at the moment when you pass your driving test, you get a paper certificate to say, yes, this person has passed their test, their driving test, and they're certified drivers. Afterwards, you get your driving license in the post. Okay, but they are saying that they're proposing that instead of this paper certificate, students should get like online certificate, digital certificates. I think one of the things they're trying to do is to actually save the environment, which we know that the whole world is talking about. So instead of issuing paper that would actually be harmful to the environment, they will issue a digital certificate, and you can save it anywhere, maybe in your email, in the file somewhere, and you can have it forever or for as long as you want it to be. It won't get old. You can print it out whenever you want and things like that. Okay, so these are just the changes that have been introduced. 5 changes, I think, that have been introduced, that have been proposed. We don't have a date yet, like I said, for this to go. It's coming to effect, but it's been proposed, and it's definitely, according to the article, it's definitely going ahead. Well, I hope this video has been helpful. If you are wanting to do your driving test, I hope that you get it done as soon as possible, and I also hope that you pass it one hand. But if you don't pass it, then you want to get the ball rolling and get it done as soon as possible, so that you don't have to wait 28 days before you can rebook your test. Okay, but I hope this video has been helpful. If that's helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. If you have any questions, any video suggestions, leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them and also engage with you in the comment section. Okay, but thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.